Hey now. Hey now.
Hey now, let me turn on my mic. Hey now.
Hey now. Hey now.
So, I can't believe this is a fucking thing. Let me just get to, I hope you all had a happy holidays. Hopefully, well, I shouldn't say I had a bad one. I'm not going to say I had a bad holiday, but I will also say that I hope you all had a better one than I did. Anyways, I just noticed this now. What the fuck is up with his, like, game setup up there? I'm talking about the interviewer here. So we got the PS5 over here. I don't think it's capturing my mouse movement on the feed. But if you see, like, the two shelves over, he's got the PS5, and I think there's a PS3 there, but, like, there's no TV hooked up. I don't know, it just looks weird. And what the fuck is up with the background of Clint's thing? Like, this looks fucking weird, too. Well, I guess we're off to a great start here.
Hey now. Hey now.
It's like, clean your shit up, or, like, put up, like, a blue screen or green screen kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, if I was ever doing webcasts from this from my basement, I can guarantee you I'd have some sort of a, you know, superimposed background. Not what it actually is here. Yeah, I've heard about the Iron Claw. I do want to, I'm going to definitely see it eventually. But I'm not going to, like, run out to the theaters. Once it's available on digital or streaming, that's where I'll go and watch it. That's not exactly a, it's not like Godzilla -1, where you have to see it in a theater, you know? The Iron Claw can kind of, you know, you can watch it on a cell phone and it's fine. Anyways, let's quit stalling here. And I should mention also, by the way, oh yeah, so we're going to also watch from Baldwin Chronicles, he had another disaster Christmas, but we'll get to that after this.
Mic check.
Good stuff. Okay. Okay. Do we want to wait for Josh?
Hey, Josh. Nice.
What?
Yes. Oh my God, Josh, only you, man. Hope you feel better.
I was taking that shit, man, to drop a little troll out of my Asperger's.
First things first, why don't you just introduce yourself, let the people know who you are.
My name is Clint Saunders. I'm Josh's dad.
Not by choice.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I mean, that's probably a pretty fucking accurate statement on both sides.
Yeah, sorry, man. You didn't have any choice on that one.
I feel so sad. I feel sorry for you more than you feel for me.
You know, what motivated you?
You know what? Hold on.
I feel so sad. I feel sorry for you more than you feel for me.
You know, what?
You know what?
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
What motivated you to want to do this interview? And
Oh yeah, Clint fucking is the one that prompted this. This wasn't that guy on the right. You know, he's the same guy, for those who don't know or don't remember, who did that, like, good but flawed King Cobra documentary a couple of months back. So Clint actually, look at fucking Cobra here. He looks like that is how I would expect my 13-year-old to react if I had ever brought her on camera, which I'll never do, by the way. But, like, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting.
what do you hope to get out of it?
Well, I get hit up for interviews like this constantly. And it's something I've always ignored because I don't, you know, the YouTube thing's Josh's thing and it's his world and it's his thing. You know, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want
yeah, I don't want to get any of that shit on me, pal.
to do anything that's going to take away from what he's doing or take a, you know, try to infiltrate into his gig, if that makes sense.
What? I'm sorry, what?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Like, he's acting like, oh yeah, I don't want to, like, impede on his business or something. Like, that makes no sense. Like, that sort of explanation. I mean, am I wrong here? Yeah, welcome, Pancake.
Hey now.
Yeah, this is Clint, the Cobra's dad. Can't you tell the resemblance?
And plus, I just don't trust anybody in the Cobraverse. Years ago, I would let people in and they would just burn me. I'd let them in and I'd talk to them and I'd reveal stuff I shouldn't have because I thought they were legit. And I get 40 emails a day. I'm not a troll, whatever, man. And they all say it, and they all just fuck us over always. I'm 100% record now. I have a bad track record for reading people apparently. And so when you emailed me, Josh had contacted me. So years ago, I quit reading any type of email or text I get from anybody. The second I see your son, Cobra, or YouTube, I just delete it because oh my God, I don't have time to read that.
I don't think that's the best decision there, pal. I mean, I get like that it would be like troll stuff, but like people be texting you and being like, bro, your son is not moving on stream. He hasn't responded in the last 20 minutes. Maybe you should fucking check on him because he's probably getting messages like that.
That shit. And because I was just inundated with it. And plus I don't care.
You don't care about your son?
What these people's opinions are. They don't know us. They don't know me. They really don't know Josh. They think they do.
Josh looks like he would rather watch his parents fuck than be here. Like, look at that. Someone mentioned in the comments that he looks like a fucking like spoiled toddler or something sitting in the corner.
But he told me you were cool. So when you sent me an email, I looked for it and read it. And I was still very skeptical, of course. There's no way in hell I'm going to do an interview with you until I saw what you did. And I appreciated your honesty and your fairness. And I realized, you weren't trying to, manipulate it for a preconceived idea.
Why wouldn't you? Okay, that's just some weird editing, but whatever.
So with all the people in Josh's life who hurt him, I just don't trust anybody.
Yeah. So with that, then let's pivot over to Josh. What was Josh like as a kid?
So
autistic.
One of the things with Josh, when Josh was not even 2 years old, we knew there was definitely something, different about him. And
don't know why.
So we, started having him checked. By the time he was 4, 5 years.
No. I want to know, like, what do you mean you knew he was different? Like, I'm sorry, I'm a father of 3, so I would have been like, literally, that guy should have been like, no. What do you mean? What about him made him different? Because when you're a parent, like, especially like a first time one, well, I don't think he was first time then, but like you overanalyze everything. So I'd love to know what he saw in Josh's upbringing that led him to get, well, I guess we'll follow
years old. I realized I didn't have the parenting skills to help him. I mean, he was take everything you think you know about parenting and you just throw it right out the window. At the time, I was a volunteer coach for Special Olympics, so I was very used to working with, developmentally challenged kids, both physically and mentally. Yeah.
Look at Josh. I'm sorry, but he just looks like he'd rather be anywhere else.
And I also coached for a long time. So I really had a lot of skills in terms of working with kids, but nothing worked with Josh. Every single parenting trick I tried, just nothing. Nothing. And I realized that I need some help. So I actually went back to school and got a degree in psychology and started working with adjudicated youth. And I was pursuing the degree to help myself so that I could help him, because I needed a better understanding of what I was dealing with and how to help him, because by the time he was 6, he'd been labeled probably 6 different disorders. And
6.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And so that's what you're saying. I knew it. So anyways, I worked with adjudicated youth for probably about 10 years. And it started out, I did an internship at a boys' prison. I'm working with kids anywhere from stealing a pack of cigarettes to literally murder. And after that, I worked as an aftercare case manager, helping kids who gone through a program. And then when they come back home, they're trying to reestablish back into their communities. And then I also worked in group home environments for adjudicated youth, which were pretty intense. So I've worked across the full spectrum of people who, have struggled with disorders and that. And I'm glad I did, because it really helped me, with Josh. And because Josh is without a doubt the most difficult human being I've ever met in my life.
Imagine your fucking parent, regardless of whether it's true or not. Like, if my mom or my dad said that, your beliefs is the hardest kid I've ever had to deal with in my life, I would be like, I would feel so embarrassed, emasculated. You don't want to hear that you're the worst at something, or you are the top negative rank of a thing. You know what I mean? like at the end of the day, my wife can say I'm the fattest person she's ever fucked, and it's like, yeah, that technically might be true, but maybe don't share that with the world.
Just a couple of the things that he was diagnosed with. One of them is I can't remember the name of it now. This is so long ago, but
as I just did that. But you know what I mean, though.
Defiance disorder.
Yes, thank you. That is exactly what it was. Yeah, and
like just being there when they admit.
I'm just brutal, and you try every tactic, and he'll just flip it on you. And you try this, and he flips it on you. So it's very, very, very challenging. This is where my hair went. I used to have a lot of hair, and that's where it all went. So we, especially through the training that I got through my career and what I was doing, things got a lot better. In terms of, we figured out, different ways to help Josh and help him function normally, and help him, and help me, and help, the rest of our family, help him. And we had a pretty good system going for years.
Oh God.
And then when he turned 18,
look how bad his hair is looking.
And you spend time with Josh, you'll appreciate this. He's like, all right, I'm 18, we're out having dinner. And I said, so what's it like to be an adult? He goes, I tried, I'm an adult. That means I don't have to do what you tell me anymore. I'm like, what?
Oh
and
no.
he goes, yeah, I'm an adult, so I don't have to do anything you tell me. And I'm like, well, technically, you're living in my house and you're going to follow my rules. When you move out, you can do whatever you want. When you're living in my house, you're going to live by our rules. And he goes, you can't make me. I'm an adult. And in Josh's mind, as you know, it's kind of very black and white, and there isn't a lot of gray. And boom, he quit everything. So in his mind, especially at that age, he took everything that we had ever made him do that he didn't like and refused to do it. He refused to take a shower, refused to brush his teeth, refused to clean his room. He started smoking. He didn't smoke before that. He's like, I'm going to start smoking. So why would you do that? Well, because I'm 18, you can't stop me. Yeah, but why would you start that? Because I can. And so he started smoking. Well, we're not allowed to smoke in my house. So he's always smoking in the house. And
Jesus Christ. But I love how he said, the first thing he said was that, like, he wouldn't shower, that he wouldn't bathe and wouldn't clean. It's like, really? Like, you had to be forced to do those things? Why is his dad in Chad? Brad looks Cobra. I mean, God, that's crazy though. That just, and that does make sense, but in like a regarded sense, you know what I mean? Like where they say, oh yeah, I am 18. There's no like legal things anymore, so I can do what I want. But to give up like bathing, I've never understood that. Like, I don't know.
I'm not going to clean my room anymore. Oh my God. I'm not going to do the chores anymore. And now that you can't make me take meds anymore, and you can't make me see a counselor anymore. And so in his mind, it just literally, he was done with every single thing that we had ever made him do that he didn't like.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then unable to let that go. So the next
Why?
2 years were just absolute hell for all of us. I'm trying to parent, we're all, and he's so defiant and trying to do his own thing and be an adult. And finally he got to the point, it's like, dude, if you don't want to live, if you're not going to follow our rules, you need to find your own place. So he got a job and moved out on his own. And he's been on his own ever since. I'm actually really proud of him for that. He worked hard. He saved money, got his first and last month's rent, got an apartment, but still really struggling because society has rules too. And his landlord had rules.
Society has rules too. Yes, it does.
Too. And, and he's still just defying all these rules. And to this day, he won't brush his teeth. And I tell him 40 times a week.
It's like, Jesus Christ. He's just letting it all out. I mean, okay, yeah, we could kind of tell that by, fucking because we all have working eyes. But like, Jesus Christ.
And it's just
not. Well, in his mind, on his own means that like no parental supervision.
To do it.
But yeah, he's not independent.
It can be very frustrating. So then me, of course, being, I think, a typical parent, I'm trying to parent him always. And in his mind, I'm an asshole who's always lecturing him and trying to change who he is. And I think this is kind of a normal teen dynamic with their parents too, especially same-sex parent. My dad wants me to be like him and I'm not, so I'm not good enough for him, type of a mentality. And then I think it's very normal. But he, with Josh, everything's always to the extreme. It's always to the extreme. And so then every time I was with him, I'm of course parenting, and he's of course saying, enough, man, enough. You get out. And so he started blocking me from his life. And he blocked me on social media. He blocked my phone number. If I wanted to talk to him, I had to do like everybody else and go to his apartment and climb down and bang on his window. If we have important family things going on, or a death in the family, or we're going somewhere, I'd have to literally trap through the alley and bang on his window and hope that he was home. And I finally realized, and this was hard at first, it's gotten easier, but I finally realized, if I'm going to be in his life, I'm going to have to do a couple different things. One, I've got to stop trying to change him. not, because obviously as a dad, I want my kid brushing his teeth. I want my kid taking a shower. I want my kid keeping his room clean. I want my kid having a job, and I want my kid taking care of himself physically and mentally. Of course, I want all that. But in his eyes, every time I even remind him, I'm lecturing. I'm trying to change him. And
yeah, I can't even begin to relate. I can't even begin to imagine what that feels like. Like, again, 3 kids. I don't need to tell them to do these things. They just, well, okay, my son needs to remind to shower. But like the girls who are older don't need to be reminded of that. They'll just do it because they know it's time for a shower. But like you kind of are expected to kind of outgrow that behavior, at least by the time when you're in double-digit ages.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I was very much against the goth thing, as he knows, and I very much thought, and this is, I think, a common thing too. It was a theme in his life, is I always think it's a phase. Okay, so here's a phase, and we go through phases as we grow up. So I'm like, oh, I can't wait when he grows out of this phase. Oh, please God, when he grows out of this phase, and if I can accept the fact he isn't in a phase, this is who he is, and I got to make a decision. I'm going to be in his life, or I'm not. And if I'm going to be in his life, I have to.
I love how he brought a fucking wand too, Cobra,
and I've got to love him anyway. Period. Or I'm not going to be there. So there you go. About what, 24, 25. I'm like, all right, dad, you got to quit being a dad 24/7 and just accept the fact that, and then for me, then it wasn't just that too. Then it's like, I have to choose to be proud of who he is. It isn't just, all right, fine, I accept you even though I don't like it, because that's not going to work either. So it's like, no, I need to be proud of who he is. And so I started focusing on that. And I started focusing on the things about him that are great. And
such as,
I'm very proud of who he is. And I'm very proud of, obviously I'm not proud of all of his behaviors. I'm not proud of all the choices he makes, but I am.
Oh God. Again, imagine being said that about you by your own dad. I'm not proud of all his behaviors. Like, God, if my dad said that, like in front, in to a big audience like this in front, I'd want to off myself. Like, Jesus Christ, really? Or like, I don't know, like, okay, I guess, yeah, if we gave my dad a comprehensive list of everything I do, like, I'm sure he's not proud of them doing this shit, but he would never go and openly, you know what I mean? Like, you spin it in a more positive way is what I'm saying.
I'm very proud of him and as a person, and I stopped trying to change him. I just accept this is my boy. This is who he is. Nobody's going to change him. He's been this way since he was 2 years old. and that's who he is. So embrace it. And then since then, it was slow at first.
Sorry.
But he started letting me back in his life, and we started to build a better relationship and a stronger relationship. But a lot of that is me keeping my mouth shut, which isn't always easy.
Why did he elbow him in the arm there?
Yelled at.
Hold on.
Stronger relationship.
Watch this.
But a lot of that is me keeping my mouth shut.
Like, what the fuck was that? Like, that's like that hit nudge shit. What the fuck was that for?
Which isn't always easy. And when I do it with my mouth, I get yelled at.
Crisis. We're gonna go all night here, folks. I'm gonna be pausing this so much.
Do something is tell him not to. And still to this day, even though he's in his 30s, the surest way for me to get him to not do something is to tell him to do it. It's still in that defiant mode. And so I do the best I can to try to find a balance so that we can have a relationship. I can still
I
be
get
there,
that
take care of him
too,
if he needs
Trunks.
help. But there's a line, and if I cross the line, I'm blocked. And it's tough. I'm not gonna lie.
And you guys are, I mean, obviously you're family members, but you're happy together.
And the thing that people don't realize.
Okay, bro, if you're making this as a video, like I'm talking about the guy who's doing this interview, like at least match the volume levels as much as you can.
And they don't need to realize it's none of their damn business, because Josh and I talk on the phone several times a week. We hang out whenever, I'm very, I run a couple of businesses. I'm also a full-time teacher, so I'm very busy. But when we hang out probably, at least once a week, or at least like run to the post office, or, run to the store, go by Wandwood, things like that.
Whoa.
And then when we can.
Wait, stop. Can I hear that one more time?
I run a couple of businesses. I'm also a full-time teacher, so I'm very busy. But when we hang out probably, at least once a week, or at least like run to the post office, or, run to the store, go by Wandwood, things like that. And then when we can.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is that what you consider like bonding with your son? Like, I'm sorry, like the bonding I do with my dad is, or I mean, okay, I'll go over to his house to like fix shit or whatever, but like he'll come over to my place. Like we're going to a home. Without like, it's not like, hey, Dad, let's meet up at Home Depot. My fucking my toilet, the plunger ain't good enough to clear out all the shits that I did earlier, so I'm gonna go get a better plunger. Oh yeah, I'll meet you there, pal. Oh great, like what?
So and I got into woodworking a few years ago, just kind of making some little sculptures and stuff. I'm really horrible at it. But I enjoy it, so it's like, I enjoy the process because I don't know. I think guys like to play with their wood or something, but it's they're wanking. So, and whoever got Josh the lathe, I am forever indebted to them and want to thank them because I had talked to Josh about getting a lathe for years. And the number one rule, Josh, is if it's my idea, and whoever got Josh the lathe, I am forever indebted to them and want to thank them because I had talked to Josh about getting a lathe for years. And the number one rule, Josh, is if it's my idea, it ain't going to happen. Period. I tried to get him to do a food channel for years. Ever since he was little, the food concoctions and the drink concoctions, oh my God. And I'm like, dude, the shit you put together and put in your mouth is just horrifying. And people would pay to watch that, man. And I tried to get him to do that when he first started his channel. I'm like, you know what you need to do with your channel? You need to do your concoctions, man. Oh, I'm cool,
what?
Dad. I'm good, Dad. I don't need that, Dad.
I do my concoctions on my channel, though.
You do now?
I do them on my channel.
I've been trying to get you to since you were 18.
Oh God, he's been doing that for like years, like even like as a kid. Oh no. Oh God, can you imagine like the even crazier shit he must have consumed as a child? Like I have to imagine they had to go and like literally hide stuff away from him because he would just maybe accidentally kill himself by mixing something that really isn't supposed to go together. And the idea that he's like, hey, you should monetize that. Hey, you know that shit that you do that looks disgusting and makes me want to vomit? Yeah, but other people will pay to see that. Make a career out of that. Is that what he's bragging about now?
Oh my God, and the stuff. And I mean, it's just like, I don't know, it's hard not to watch, as gross as it can be. It's like, oh, he's not going to eat that. And when I watch your documentary, I'm sitting there going, don't eat that chicken, man. Don't eat that chicken. I couldn't believe you ate that chicken. I'm like, Hey, the Doritos chicken was delicious.
Mm-hmm. You can't.
Oh,
he made food. You got to be. I'm in his home. I got to have manners.
Sure, I appreciate that.
Yeah, like if he's boost the audio in post, I can get it not being great on the source, but it's not hard to boost in post unless that is boosted, in which case then you just fucked up.
But that just is who he is.
Awful for them,
and he's always been that way. And literally, what you see, aside from the substance abuse, what you see is Josh.
I'm sorry. Can I hear that one more time?
But that just is who he is, and he's always been that way. And literally what you see, aside from the substance abuse, what you see is Josh.
What you see aside from the substance abuse? Again, God, like just again, just imagine your parents saying this about you, regardless of if it's true or not.
And this is
like there's no instance where this would be like seen like as a positive for that person. You know what I mean?
One of the reasons I think he's loved and hated is because nobody else got the balls to be that way. Who else? Nobody. We are all a persona, and we present ourselves in certain situations and certain things how we want to be seen. That's just
we're not even 20 minutes into this. Jesus Christ!
And he does get a little bit of this, the Cobes persona when he's online, and I see that come out. I saw that in your interview as well. But for the most part, but that's also, his persona. That's his YouTube channel. He's not always like that. In RAL.
You lying sack of
shit.
But
the lathe, anyways, I tried to talk to him to get a lathe forever. And he's like, and he and go back and forth. Oh, that's cool. Let's try it. Okay, let's go get one. No, I'm good. I'm going to change my mind. A week later, hey, you want to try a lathe? I think you'd make some great ones on a lathe. No.
I'm going to move that. Maybe move the chat thing over because I realized we might be missing some good Cobra.
And we were like this for years. And that lathe showed up, and I'm like, okay, good. So I went over and to show him how to use it. And I hadn't used a lathe since junior high school, and I just loved it. It was just so relaxing. And for the first time, I swear to God, the first time in his entire life, he let me teach him something. And he let me teach him how to use that lathe. And he let me show him how to make ones, and he actually listened instead of fighting me. It was magic for me. I teared up. I was just, I can't believe this is happening. Oh my God.
Well, the idea that I can't grow as a person.
20
retard stuck in his ways.
20 some years.
No language.
He would never let me teach him anything or show him anything. And he finally let me show him and we made, and it was so relaxing. We had so much fun. So I bought a lathe for my woodworking area as well. And so then, and we'll load his lathe up and bring it over here. And you know, when I have the time, we'll spend full day, you know, sometimes like 8-9 hours. Just I work on my wood stuff while he makes wands, and we work them together. And it's so great. And so whoever got him that lathe, it gave us an opportunity to bond over something without fighting. And I'm truly thankful for that.
I mean, I may need to look up. There's got to be like, that's got to be chronicled online when he got that.
If I see this, thank you so much.
I'd love to see what the circumstance is.
A huge thing in Josh's life, and he enjoys it, and he's very relaxing. You know, I find it very therapeutic for him as well.
It's really therapeutic for me, like when I play guitar and stuff.
Yeah, we're working on getting some resin molds and stuff now to build our own stuff, so we can start. We're going to try turning some resin to see how that works.
What do you think is different when you compare Josh now to when he was younger, when you guys were in that butting heads?
No difference.
Really, the only difference. Well, Josh has mellowed a lot with his temper, which is I'm very thankful for, because he's tempered.
This is him mellow. Have you seen what came out recently? Like when he was fucking just screaming and shit when he had that awful drunken night like a week or two ago.
Used to get in a lot of trouble.
Hot-tempered Aries, what can I say?
So, and that makes it so much easier too, because even now, even when I do start lecturing him, because I can't help it, you know, I'm still a dad. He doesn't get so volatile. You know, he used to just instantly just a wall and anger, and then just a huge blow up. And now he's calmer. He doesn't react away, and it takes some, you know, quite often 10 minutes later, he'll call me and go, "Hey, I'm sorry. I know you love me. You know, I know you're just trying to take care of me. I'm sorry I acted that way." And so that ability to self-reflect a little bit and realize that, hey, you know, I made a bad choice, and own it, is a huge difference. And it's so nice. And just the biggest thing though is me finally just accepting the fact that this is my kid. And I got to stop trying to turn him into something I want him to be, and let him be him, and love him for it and respect him for it anyway. And
I feel like you got to get a little bit of a middle ground there, pal.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I don't think just letting Josh be Josh is the best thing for Josh.
So that was the biggest change.
Tell me when I'm telling
lies. It took him all
lies.
to trust me on that too, you know, because, but the thing is like, and this is Josh, you know, Josh is the way his mind works, but I wasn't a mean, horrible parent who just all the time. But in Josh's mind, any rule, brush your teeth. You know, when you get up in the morning, you take a shower, you brush your teeth, you put on clean clothes, you make your bed. That's a rule. And then Josh's mind, I remember in your clip, I saw a couple of his older videos when he said, "I'm so pissed about that right now." And those were literally fights about like, you need to brush your teeth. I mean, it was literally, that's what those fights were. It was so silly. And I've seen big improvements in Josh. Like now he showers every day.
You lying sack of shit! You lying sack of shit! You lying sack of shit!
Wait a minute. I think even Josh, he's going to counter that.
I shower every day, but I shower more.
But if he's going out.
Even he had to call bullshit on that.
You know, if he's going to leave the apartment for any reason, he make sure he showers first. He takes, and he started doing his laundry. Oh my God, because he would never do laundry either. And when he first moved out, I would go clean his place because I'm a clean fanatic anyway, and it was so gross.
He's a neat freak.
And so, and plus, you know, it's like, I got to teach him, you know, so I go, "Come on, man, let's go, let's clean this place." And then of course, so then he wouldn't let me in his house because I kept trying to, again, control him. And also he didn't want to live like that. But it took a while. And after he got kicked out of that last apartment for it, that was a huge eye opener for him. And as you mentioned, his new apartment's covered in dust because he's wood turning all the time. But he keeps it clean. You know, he vacuums regular. He cleans the kitchen. He empties the trash. You know, that doesn't smell in there at all. Thank God. You're not afraid to sit down because you're going to stick to something.
You lying sack of shit!
Pretty gross.
Okay, I got to quickly run use the bathroom, but I sincerely doubt that his apartment, quote unquote, never stinks. I mean, we've seen too much evidence just at the floor, because it's not like he's spilling beer on the floor and then go and put in, like, you know, cleaning it up afterwards, like the older part of it. You know, that's just not happening. Got it. We're not even 20 minutes into this. This is already amazing. I'm loving this already. But hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I'm sorry for the delay. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, I can't get enough of this.
The older part wasn't that bad.
Let me just see here. I love how Josh is silent, hating this. Cove's being clean.
In your opinion, that's because the lighting was horrible.
And I think you're talking.
Wait, start. Go over.
You're not afraid to sit down because you're going to stick to something. That older part got pretty gross.
The older part wasn't that bad.
In your opinion, that's because the lighting was horrible.
And I think you're talking a lot about, Josh growing and becoming more self-reflective. But I think it's also respectable that you have felt that same growth and learned to, both better your relationship. This is pretty inspiring. I'm going to be honest.
So it's just parenting,
Yeah.
And
Why does Josh look mad? Just keep watching. Big Rock. By the way, welcome to the stream.
Hey now.
First timer here. Yeah, just watch. This is like people have said. This is it's like an embarrassing parent-teacher conference where the student is right there, and the teacher and the parent are just commiserating over the shared misery that they have.
people on the outside, they don't. It's easy to, and one thing, when you have a challenge, when you raise a child with challenges, you're judged every second of every day. When I was coaching Special Olympics, that was one thing I noticed all the parents had in common, was the way people look at them, the way they treat them, because your kid's weird, your kid's different. So what did you do wrong? You must be a bad parent because your kid's acting weird. And so it's very easy to blame parents, and to this day, and I'm guilty of it. If I'm in a store and I see a kid throwing a fit, I think somebody needs to swat that kid's ass. I don't think
That's the problem with today's youth. You're not allowed to spank them.
I don't think, oh my God, that kid probably has autism and is having a moment right now because of sensory overload, because that's usually what's happening. I think that kid needs discipline. And I'm guilty of it myself. So, but my whole life, his whole life, everywhere you go, you're judged. And I don't know, I think a lot of these major trolls, I think that they think they can hurt me in some way by calling me names, but it's like, dude,
I've been bullied my entire life. What the fuck else are they going to say to me?
well, oh my God, it can't, it's surreal. That whole topic is surreal. And the other thing we started talking about, things got way off track. Sorry. You were mentioning, people don't see us together. Well, that's because both me and also as Josh's wishes, it's his thing. And there was a while when he was doing Facebook Live stuff, I'd always log in to watch him and chat with them. But I noticed all the people in the chat would see me and start instantly messaging me and trying to talk to me. And it's like, no, I don't want to take away from his thing. This is his thing, not mine. So I didn't want to, be that, a distraction. And so I just decided that I need to never, ever be visible in his YouTube life because of that, because it's his thing, not mine. And I didn't know that
No, like you're kind of getting the wrong message from this. No, people are messaging you like it's
was going to be a harmful thing to us because
you all know where I'm going, right?
Yeah, this is where I get so frustrated because
I have intelligent viewers
they
like
look at him as a human being. They look at him as their toy. And I mean, even some teasing, and you mentioned this in your documentary as well, some of the good nature teasing, and this was hard for Josh because I'm a teaser, and he has Asperger's, and Asperger's take everything very little, and this was hard for Josh because I'm a teaser, and
did you look at his eyes there? Jesus, one more time.
This in your documentary.
After he says teaser, look at Josh's eyes.
Teasing, and this was hard for Josh because I'm a teaser, and he has Asperger's, and Asperger's take everything very literal, and it took I won't tell you some of this shit I put this poor kid through when he was little because I, dad stories. You were an alien. I convinced him he was an alien once, and used my Photoshop skills to literally make it real. And he was so traumatized. I thought it was so damn funny, but he was so traumatized. Even now, look at the look on his face. He's like, "Really? You're gonna bring that up?"
Okay, look, if your kid has what the fuck? Why is he bragging about this? Why would you bring this up as a thing that you did to your heavily autistic child? You literally first go and say there is no sarcasm, or like he can't pick up on jokes, which makes sense. That's that's like Asperger's or not. Yeah, Asperger's and autism, and you're saying I went and did a thing to like take advantage of that. Like, why would you open, like, first of all, why the fuck did you do it? And then why are you admitting to it? Like, even Josh is like, fuck it, like, really? Like, you would admit that you did that thing? Like, look, we've all have as parents, maybe like that one story you don't want to share with the world. That sounds like that's one of probably many stories that you shouldn't have shared with the world.
It was And
We're not even
then
a half
later,
hour
when I
into
found
this,
out,
folks.
that he had Asperger's and that he took everything very little, I was like, oh shit.
And I have this on accelerated
I can't believe
speed.
I did that to this kid. So he had the wrong dad to have Asperger's.
I may have to accelerate
so
even more.
He's always been teased. He's always
let's see
been
how it sounds.
harassed because he's different,
Rejected by every chick.
Oh my God. Every day is his life. From the time he was in grade school, I've had to, and I have no idea how hard this is.
Okay, that's a little too fast. We'll go back to 2.5.
Parent, to watch your kid go through this every single day. I mean, every day. It's not even a little bit. And it gets so bad that you've got to go to the school to intervene. And he's just like a target. He has this giant neon sign that says,
I don't know why my thing made a noise
and I
there.
don't know why. But even then, there's a line. And these trolls on the internet go far beyond picking on him. They do everything they can to hurt him.
What?
He can't mention a single person's name on his YouTube channel without them going after them to the point where they get Josh out of their lives because they're like, I'm sorry, Josh, I love you. You've always been a good person to me, but I can't. And they're throwing him out of his life. Everybody. They will not allow him to be happy. He's not allowed. They get him kicked out of every place he goes to. He goes to a restaurant and shows up and they find out he's there. They start bombarding that restaurant nonstop until the restaurant asks him to leave. A lot of these people I know and they're friends of mine, they call me and Clint, I'm so sorry, but we just can't. But they try to get him, they get him fired from every job he gets. They get him kicked out of every establishment he likes to go to. It's insane. And so he can't go out of his apartment without being hazed and harassed. He can't go to any local establishment without them harassing that establishment until they kicked him out. Every person he mentions on his YouTube channel, they do all they can to get them out of his life. They try like hell to get him evicted from his apartment. Is his life not challenging enough? And then they go, oh, the decline. We're so worried about the decline. Josh's drinking decline. Gee, I wonder why the fuck he drinks.
Because I enjoy it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I blew out anyone listening on earphones, but chief. I'll take worst answers possible for 1,000, Alex.
I do. I enjoy it. It makes me feel good.
Temporarily. But we won't have that conversation. But it's
we're not even a half hour into this, and I love this. If we get more, this might go down as my favorite video of the year.
and then it came up in your interview too. It's been so sad to watch the decline. Well, I wonder why he has a decline. Jesus Christ. Anybody, they've done psychological projects with plants where they take the exact same plant and the same pot, same lighting, same everything, but one of them they scream at all day. And it literally stunts its development. A plant.
I took a selfie with all the workers. Okay, so Big Rocket Man, I'm not gonna necessarily condone what you did, but I'm not gonna shit on you either. Both at the same time, though, if this was like someone that you loved, that you knew would take, like, if you know what I'm talking about, like if that was your brother, your child, your mother, this, out of the other thing, you would never pull the kind of a joke because you know that could be traumatizing to people. But like you can see though, like you saw like how crazy that was.
Let's take a human being. A human being. I don't.
They've crossed a lot of lines, to be honest.
I don't get it, man. How miserable does your life have to be that the only fulfillment you get out of it is spending 5-6 hours a day harassing an autistic man?
So I think I kind of want to pose that same question to you. Do you understand that there's a group of people that do genuinely care about Josh, that may mess with him,
Yes.
may do small things, and then there's the other group of people that.
So
Sorry.
There's three groups: my fans who don't mess with me, and then the other two, like you said.
So yeah, there's the fans who just are nice, and then there is a group, and I know some of them, not personally, but I know I can list online names of some of the people who are genuinely, I think, good-natured teasing, not meaning to harm, not realizing that he does take. And this is something we work on constantly, is separating some of the mail things, some of the shit they send in the mail, getting him to understand, hey, that's really kind of funny, no, it's not that, and getting him to recognize the difference between the stuff that is funny and not. But then there's and they are, and even though they intend to be harmless, and I get it, 10 years, man, when you're under that constant bombardment of it, it has a psychological effect on you. But then you've got that group, the ones that I just got so pissed off about, sorry about that, that treat him like a toy. They own him. He's our toy. And we get to do whatever we want with him. That's what they think. Okay, they don't. This isn't a human being. This is their own reality.
Okay, I apologize for randomly pausing in the thing, but it looks like the Twitch feed is having a few issues. I'm just gonna post a thing there.
TV show that they get to manipulate and
Hopefully
control.
I
And
think the Twitch feed
anybody
just
that's
flat out
nice to him in
died.
this reality TV show is instantly attacked. And another reason I've never done an interview like this, because it doesn't matter what I say. When you share this, they're going to take everything I say and twist it, and they're going to turn it, and they're going to turn me into a villain because they need a villain, and I'm their villain. There isn't one of those people that could handle 10 minutes in his life. 10 minutes, let alone 10 years. I made that one post on Facebook the one day about this, talking about how they treat him like he's their own reality TV show and they're producers. And I called them out for a bunch of their shit. They lost their
the fucking ad thing got fucked up. God damn it. Sorry, guys, on Twitch. And ad's probably going to run a little bit.
And they were so pissed off and so hurt and upset over one insult. One. How about one every 10 minutes, every 24 hours? For 10 years. One insult. They couldn't last 10 minutes in his life. They're too sensitive. They're too fragile. And this is one of the things that I have the highest level of respect for Josh. I mean, he has substance abuse issues, and we talk about it a lot, and he knows how I feel about it. And I'm not going to get into that on camera for his sake, but
good one.
I think if that's all he's got right now, based on the abuse he's taken, and it isn't just a little, man. If these trolls were his parents in his life, he'd been removed from the home a long time ago. You know what I mean? It's surreal.
Like the worst I do anymore is smoke pot and drink alcohol.
I love that look he just gave. Like, motherfucker, you are so full of shit. Tokes, that's his fucking dad. That's Clint Saunders. Look at the thing, the Clint Saunders interview. Oh, and welcome, Shao Kahn.
Hey now.
Welcome,
hey
everyone.
Now, hey now.
You know what? So, anywho,
I haven't touched their duster in several days. I'm quite proud of myself.
Days?
Several weeks,
Thank
actually.
I doubt he's even gone several hours without doing duster.
And that's the other thing. Where do you think he gets the shit?
Yeah.
They send it to him.
Yeah.
It's
that guy. I think a lot of people would agree that guy that sent.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Genuine piece of shit.
I'll still doing it. I intercepted.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I give it to a friend of mine who has a computer business because he does his business all the time.
Well,
yeah, all the shit they send him.
The duster's going.
Find places for it.
Yeah.
So a lot of my friends and family, thank you guys for the free shit, the free cat food, the free bird food. I got a buddy who's got bird feeders. They love that bird seed. So anybody that wants to send them that shit, keep sending it. I got friends and family who love it.
You got friends who need some like wood chips?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry on Twitch in like 5 minutes. I'm going to have to run an ad to kill the pre-rolls.
Yesterday?
Actually, no, I can run one more delay.
Those wood chips, yeah, they sent me like 3 of them now.
You know, that's just it. You know, and when I have to obviously tell people in my life about this because I do a lot of charity work and I do a lot of I do a lot of things in the public in my community, and I have to warn them. I'm like, if you put any of this online, it's going to get attacked, and you're going to hear some really nasty shit about me. So just be prepared for it.
Yeah, Rem. So that's Clint.
And when I tell them the situation, everybody has the same response. They sit there with their mouth wide open, and then they go, "Why?" And I think that's kind of the bottom question: is why? And I mean this sincerely. As pissed off as I got a little bit ago, I sincerely hurt for these people. I feel bad for them because I can't imagine, and I tell Josh this all the time, how hard their life has got to be.
I think it's funny. Fuck them.
I know. when your life is so bad that you have to attack like this nonstop to make somebody else's life worse than yours, so that you can feel better about yourself, and especially a mentally challenged person.
So Rams, just to catch up anyone who is coming in late. Apparently, Clint initiated this. He reached out to the same guy. For those who don't know, this is Your Favorite Son. He's the guy who did the big. Yeah, Empire of Dirt, that documentary from 5 months ago, which was good overall. I had a few issues with it, but whatever. It was a first time thing, you know, and Like, it's one of those things, hindsight's 2020. But anyways, he's the one conducting this. Clint reached out to him because I guess he wanted to go and, I don't know, get online or try to curtail some of the criticism that might have come out because of that documentary. But I mean, this thing has been a fucking, I mean, like, look, I've been streaming for about 45 minutes overnight and I'm barely a half hour into this, and I have this running on fucking faster speed.
Wow, man, I feel bad for them because they have got to really be hurting inside somewhere. There's got to be some disconnect somewhere that really causes them a lot of pain and suffering, and I really sincerely feel bad for them. I would, nothing I can do about it. I did finally track down one of the really nasty trolls who trolls me all the time. I finally tracked him down a couple days ago, and seriously thought about sharing his phone number and his address and his name and his family's phone numbers and addresses and names. He's in Massachusetts, and I thought about sharing it all with everybody so that all the true fans of Josh could just bombard the shit out of him and his family and see how long they last. But obviously, like I said, he's hurting enough. As guys,
no, don't stoop to their level, man. They dox me all the time.
Well, not only that, but like I said, this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Josh has to be like the, word of wisdom here. It would be like, yeah, really? You're going to go and fuck with these people? You're going to use these same tactics? Well, moral high ground. Oh, both of you, King Slowbra and Exiled. Yeah, it's like, why even bother bringing that up? Like, oh, I know. It sounds like when DSP say, by the way, I have your IP. I know where you are. It's like, motherfucker, really? Like, regardless of if you're telling the truth or not, that's not something you should be flaunting.
To do what he does to us and say the things he says to us, and the nonsense. He'll call me 5-6 times a day. I never answer the phone, and he'll finally leave a voicemail, which I don't listen to. I just delete them. But it's like, he's obviously got a hard life. He's obviously missing something there. So I don't want to make it worse. And I definitely don't want to put his family through that.
Well, that's you.
Yeah, I didn't share the number with Josh.
What can the collective good people...
But, I'm sorry, what do you mean I didn't share that number with Josh? What, so if you had, he was going to go and harass the person or do this, that, and everything that you said that you both said you weren't going to do, like, then why would you feel the need? Like, why not just be like, hey, look at this asshole and look like where this is from. I can get this information. Like, so basically he feels or knows that Josh would do something bad with that information, which doesn't really speak good on Josh. I mean, am I wrong here? Well, no, we'll see, get into that, Stokes. We're not even an hour into this.
That want to help Josh, that aren't, sending him alcohol, aren't sending him duster, stuff like that, not getting him swatted.
Oh, not necessarily a bad thing. It's the duster that's the bad thing.
Yeah, but these people, what can they do to help him? What do you think would be the best?
Oh, this should be good.
Assistance.
Well, and the thing is, and I've seen a lot of very genuine people out there who do truly like Josh and care about him, and that always makes my heart really happy. And I'm very appreciative of it. And so is Josh. There's good people out there, and Josh. And that's the thing that people.
Sorry, on Twitch.
I think makes it the hardest with the hard trolling is he is such a good person. You met him. He is very genuine. He is very kind. I have never seen him walk into a building without stopping and holding the door for the person behind him ever. And he's kind of scary looking, so people are often like, oh,
because
but he just smiles. Animals, good God, animals just love him. Everywhere we go, he just dogs. I mean, just even mean dogs. They'll just right to Josh and calm down. He's a very giving person. The first time when he got his first apartment, this was so many years ago, but he kept getting in trouble because he kept letting homeless people sleep there. I don't know if you remember those videos or not.
Wait, he did?
And I talked to him like, man, you can't do this. He's like, but Dad, these people are cold. They got nowhere to go. What are they going to do? Sleep on the street? And this is the type of person he is. He's a loving, caring, giving person who's just genuine and different. And I know he's different, and it's okay to be different, man. But it's
start looking into the Cobra archives.
The contrast between that and these horrible people is, wow, it's just night and day. But the good people, I don't know. I don't know what they do to help them. The thing is, and Josh isn't going to like this, but Josh has got to help himself. Any type of change, if anybody has ever quit smoking, quit any habit, it's hard. And it takes a whole lot of willpower, and it takes a whole lot of desire and work to change in any capacity. Because personal change is hard. We are creatures of habit. And that's where a lot of these trolls are. This is their daily habit. They get up in the morning and troll Josh. Got my laugh for the minute, or whatever it is, but it's a habit. And if Josh is going to change, he's got to want to change because it's too much work. Nobody can do it for him. And it's the same thing with alcohol. he's got to want to stop it. And I think there's parts of him that want to have it.
I don't want to stop drinking alcohol, but I do want to cut down on it, and I've been making a solid effort on that.
Yes, you have.
You lying sack of shit! You lying sack of shit!
Although, to be fair, I believe the date of this was... Okay, this was recording on 12/6, which I believe was a bit before he had his most recent meltdown. Where he got so... he fucking polished off... Well, I mean, between drinking and spilling it, he finished off, what, a 750 of Jack Daniels, right? Like, I didn't hallucinate that, and sorry for the mic knock there.
And that's where he's at. And that's what it takes, is it's got to come from somewhere within. And I think the last year's holiday break where he ended up in the jail was a real eye-opener for him. And then his friend who struggles a lot with his health right now because of things like smoking and alcohol.
Well, Walt doesn't drink.
Right. But the smoking.
Yeah, he's a heavy smoker.
You know, and he sees that, and it's starting to become more real.
So we'll look forward to when I get older.
And the thing with Josh is
I smoke weed, so I'm not worried about the consequences of the drink bill.
he's not going to change. He has been this way since he was 2. And as his own dad, I had to get to the point where it was accepted. I had to accept it. There's one of his...
By the way, that's crazy too, that he, one of the things that they mentioned was that he started smoking when he was 18, you know, because it was legal then. But like, when you start smoking, and like, okay, I get smoking when you're like a pure teen or underage, but once you're 18, you've been experienced and you've been, you know, everything with the facts and shit. It's like, come on. Like, that truly is regarded.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Disorders, and this is very common with people who have eating disorders.
Eugene Cooney.
Self-loathing. And, you know, people with eating disorders are often very misjudged as being very vain. It's all about their figure, whatever. And that isn't the case. A lot of people with eating disorders, they literally don't like themselves. And it's they feel
I can believe that about
Eugene.
Eugene.
There's this voice in their head that is always reminding them how terrible they are, what a piece of shit they are, how they're not worth anything. And Josh struggles with that a lot. And not even the trolls aside, he struggles with that a lot as a human being because that voice is in his head and it has been his whole life. And it's so hard for him to accept praise. It's very hard for him to accept good things. I've watched him over and over have something really good in his life happen that could be really great, and he will
Sorry about the
start
ad
to feel
break on
good,
Twitch.
and, it's instant. Nope. Fuck you, fuck this, and he just will shut it down, and he will eliminate the good thing because he doesn't feel he's worthy of it. Even things like wands. If every wand he'd ever snapped was sold, because he'll make this awesome freaking wand, and you're like, oh my god, that is cool as shit.
Yeah,
No, it's not. Fuck this. Snaps it in half and throws it away. And he does that.
F's in the chat.
That's a great.
For
Then the wands are a
Puff.
metaphor to real things in his life as well. Big Ben, you know, Big Ben. And people with Asperger's, as you probably noticed with Josh, he focuses on things: the color black, the color green, snakes, cobras, Big Ben, bell towers.
Clock towers, yeah.
These are things that guns. These are things that he's been this way. This has been this way since he was 2 or 3 years old. When he was 4, he could tell you everything about Big Ben. They don't change, and very much need a routine, and they need that routine to stay the same. You experienced it yourself. I was laughing out loud at you. Sorry, when you were waiting outside of his apartment. Welcome to my world, man. Josh, I'm going to be there at 9. I call him at 8. I'm being there at 9. Okay. I show up at 8:30. You ready? Yep. No, I'm just getting in the shower. When you just get in the shower, it'll be quick. I call him at 8:45. I call him at 9. At 9:10, I'm knocking on his door. He won't let me in his apartment when I'm like this because he knows he's going to get a lecture. So he won't.
I'm getting out of the shower with the towel wrapped around my waist.
He won't open the door. And I'm like, dude, we got to go. Stop rushing. And the more I rush him, the slower he goes. And literally 11 is when he'll finally come out and we leave. I just said his parking lot. You know, it's
go inside then, you asshole.
But he has this routine. And if that routine is not followed, every single part of that routine, he can't leave the house. And if you try to hurry him, then he rushes, and then he just doesn't function. Then I can't think, and things are wrong. My routine's off. This doesn't feel right. That's not right. And also with the autism, being in busy places, being in noisy places, so traveling causes a ton of anxiety. But I really want to take him to see Big Ben, and it's been on our list for years. And he's so back and forth. One day it's like, yeah, let's go, and then okay, let's do it, and then I'll start to book it. And it's like,
okay, is the Twitch feed okay? Because it looks like it's kind of lagging on my end.
And then another part of that is just he doesn't think he deserves it. I don't deserve that. I'm not good enough for that. Fuck that. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't need it. And then he convinces himself that he doesn't want it. And he does this with...
I've seen Big Ben 100 times on YouTube. I've seen the inside of it. So it wouldn't change anything seeing it in real life.
Okay, looks like it's caught up now.
Oh, wouldn't.
And then next time we'll make plans to go again. But this is so in terms of those.
I mean, he's got some tisms, King Slow,
but there's really nothing they can do to help him.
Like-
I think the biggest thing they can do to help is somehow try to stop the trolls.
Yeah, but also, like, having said that, someone who needs like 3 or 2, multiple hours to just get ready. Like, you're not a fucking girl, okay? Like, even my wife could get ready in 30 minutes, like shower and then like made presentable, like 30 minutes. There's no way that this man needs more than 15 minutes to be up and out. You know what I mean? Like, if there's like a full routine, then you need to analyze that and start like trimming the fat, so to speak.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
The people who literally won't let him have a life, who constantly, and thank God for his landlord. Oh man, what a great guy.
What?
Awesome.
He is awesome.
He's actually a fan of my videos.
And he watches Josh's videos. He tells me all the time, Clint, don't worry. They're in a thing they're going to fucking say that's going to make me, we know the situation. We know who they are. We know what goes on. I watch his videos. He's good. All his neighbors love him. Because he's so nice. And all the neighbors like,
You lying sack
they wanna
of
go visit
shit!
him.
You
They're
lying
like, "Hi, Josh."
sack
And they're
of
always
shit!
talking to him. They love to hang out with him.
It's because their dogs
I
love
don't know,
them.
the
Dogs have
subreddit
dogs
says
that-
different,
Dogs just-
but
Dogs just gotta see it.
maybe that's just one. Maybe that's just one
when they
bad
went to
actor.
Metro to file the report about Puff.
Dog there named Rocket.
Dogs in there were just but anyways, yeah, so it's just supporting him in terms of let him know, hey, you're okay, man, and you got a lot of people who really believe in you, and
I think you had mentioned the Christmas.
I had to stop so I could take a cigarette break. Actually, I need to take a little quick break myself, but I'll let this thing play. I'll be right back.
Eve event. Would you mind talking about what happened there?
not
Never
really.
mind, I'll do after this.
Josh just
I'll do after this video.
was-
Video is fine.
Josh has a really hard time with holidays too, because he doesn't have enough shit to deal with. He also has severe holiday seasonal depression. And as we all know, Josh drinks to cope. He self-medicates with alcohol. And
Maybe you should look into that, pal.
it was one of those things. I've been waiting in his parking lot for 2.5 hours because we were trying to leave town. When he finally came out, he was just so drunk. And then I called him out on it in the vehicle, and I called him out on it, and then he started getting really pissed off. He got sick. And then after he got sick, he just started being very belligerent and very angry because I was lecturing him about it. And I wasn't even using a lecturing tone. I was just trying to talk to him. And unbeknownst to me, he had another pint of Jack in his pocket. And he gets it out and starts chugging it. And we get to a mini mart and we're getting gas, and he gets out and he's in the parking lot, just screaming at the top of his lungs and drinking and slamming this and walking around the parking lot doing, how he rants. He's doing one of his rants in the middle of the parking lot with a bottle of booze in his hands and call the cops. He's disturbing the peace and public intoxication. And the cop's like, what do you want me to do with him? I said, take him to jail, man. I'm serious. You got to be held responsible for that. And what he was doing is not okay, and it's not acceptable, and he needs to be held responsible for it. So the cop's like, you sure you don't want to help him? I said, no, you take him to the.
Are you sure you don't want to help him? No, you fucking deal with him, asshole. No, that was his mood back then. It wasn't like, oh no, cops, he's better in your hands. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. It's fucking Christmas. This fucking regard that I've had to bend over backwards to deal with. It's ruined another fucking holiday. Let him go into fucking jail. That's exactly what Clint thought at that time.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Tank, I'm not going to take him home and babysit him. He needs, somebody called the cops on him. You need to take care of it. He needs to be held responsible for his actions. And I'm glad it happened, to be honest with you, because it was a wake up call for him. He certainly still struggles, obviously, with the dependency, but he is aware. It did make him aware because he didn't remember any of it, and he didn't. And he's like, I did what? Things he was saying. Oh my God. It was the stuff that was coming out of his mouth was just so vile and so much anger, and it just wouldn't stop, and he just would not stop, and he could not redirect him. He just would not redirect. And so
I bet there was a lot of truth that was spoken that Clint doesn't want to have to think about.
Okay, and that's when he agreed to start getting counseling. And
it's done.
He's been going to counseling.
We haven't gone for like a month now because I'm in my busy season right now, and I'm just normal ride for stuff. So where I'm in busy season, I haven't been able to. I'm just can't until the end of this month is when I get back to a normal schedule. But for my particular business, October to Christmas, it's 20 hours a day. It's just insane.
People criticize you for not taking care of Josh enough or not being there enough. What level do you think you're actually responsible?
Is that the Attack on Titan thing in his background there? I think he has the entire Attack
that's a
on
good
Titan
question.
manga.
Legally,
Not Clint, the
no.
other guy.
He's an adult. He's lived on his own for 12 years. You know what I mean? What am I supposed to do? Ground him? Take away his phone? Spank him?
What's this about legally?
So in terms of what I am able to do, nothing. You know, there's this huge movement to
You lying
put him in
sack
a
of
home.
shit!
I don't
You
have
lying
that
sack of
capability.
shit!
I don't have the right. I can't. He's not a child. I can't just say, "I'll go put him in a home." And I have friends who still work in the. I told you I worked in the field for 10 years, and I have friends who still work in the field, and I talk to them about that stuff, and I say, "Nothing you can do, man. It's literally nothing you can do." And not only that, but I wouldn't want to put him in a home because I know it would kill him. At the same time, in terms of what level do I feel responsible for him? I'm his dad.
Okay, I'm sorry. So what is better? Him just killing himself through the drinking and the drugs and all the other shit he does on stream? Not even who knows what the fuck the shit we don't see, versus him going to a place where it's at least the motto, you know, the MO is we're trying to keep him in a good state. Like, I'm sorry, Clint, which sounds better to you?
Love him, and I care about him. And so I am, when he needs me, I'm there. Always. And I get criticized for that too. There's no win. There's no win. These, like I said, these people want a villain, and there is no win. And
no, we don't want a
unique person like Josh too. Everybody wants to.
No, bro, we don't want a villain. We want a fucking savior. That's what we want. I mean, I think more people want a savior for Josh than, like, you know, a villain to the fun. I mean, am I wrong here?
Why? What's wrong with them? How did they get that way? Well, it must be his parents, you know, and that's a common response.
It's because I'm unique. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me, though.
Exactly.
I've gotten tons of text messages of people pretending to be saying, "This is your father, Clint. You're grounded for making videos and drinking, boy. Better not go live."
Oh my God. So, you know, but in terms of being responsible for him, he's my kid. I'm always going to be responsible for him. But as I said, he's an adult that lives on his own. And if I want to be in his life, there's a line that I can't cross. Or I get banned.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Josh.
I play on the edge of that line all the time, but I can't cross it. And I shouldn't cross it. He's an adult, and to be honest with you, with the level of mental illnesses that he has, most people at that level are homeless or they're in homes. And does Josh take good care of himself?
No.
But does he survive on his own? Yes. And for that, I'm proud of him. Especially with the level of harassment he gets. Imagine, and I can't help it, especially imagine what his life would be if he wasn't trolled so hard.
Barely, thank you,
I
Arcadius.
can't imagine any human being going through that. Nonstop abuse, 24 hours a day. Name any human being that could live through that and be okay. None.
Gee, I don't know how many fucking internet content creators that we could, you know, nail off the top of our heads. I'm pretty sure they technically deal with more harassment than he does, just because of the, you know, just because of the volume. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Some people are built different. Like, and exactly, like a man like Josh should not have to deal with such shit. You shouldn't be dealing with people harassing on the internet. In case you haven't realized this, Clint, you should probably get him the fuck offline. I mean, for fuck's sake, Britney Spears, okay, was making millions of dollars, you know, money hand over fist, and she still, you know, was put on the conservatorship. I refuse to believe that Clint couldn't be able to pull off something similar. Like, really? There's really nothing you can do to be able to take control of your son's life when clearly him being on his own is not the correct path?
None. And except one. And no, he's not okay. But he's so much more okay than anybody else would be in that situation. You know?
Yeah, like literally, like all this thing, oh, there's nothing I can do. Fuck you, Britney Spears. Like, laws exist for people like this. The thing, oh, we can't do anything because he's an adult. Fuck you. Like, there are numerous adults who are not there, who can't live on their own, take care of themselves. That's why these laws exist. Like, come on, there's nothing I can do to go and, like, take control. He's an adult. No, that's not how it works. All you'd have to do, just show any doctor or whoever the fucking breakdown video he had, you know, where he passed out numerous times, and tell me that person, oh yeah, like you can literally do exhibit A, B, C, and D. Show it to anyone, and it would be like, yeah, there's no way this motherfucker should be living on their own. So don't give me this shit that there's only so much you can do. Either you're not doing enough proper research, or you know what, change the narrative to where you do have more control. But I refuse to believe the state of Wyoming does not have laws in place to help deal with people in your situation.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I think you brought up an interesting point. Imagining what Josh would be like if he didn't have to get trolled all the time. And I want to ask you, are there some times where you wish that Josh didn't do YouTube, or that he didn't ever start doing YouTube?
Yeah, so that's another really tough question.
What?
Selfishly, yeah, I wish he never would have started because of what I see him go through every day. But the good parts of it, this is what he does. It's his thing. It gives him joy.
What?
He has some very, very toxic daily habits and relationships because of it that are very frustrating, but it's what gives him joy. It's what makes him happy. It's what he does. It's his thing. And he loves doing it. And Josh is always...
Bro, you could replace heroin with YouTube and it would make the same sense, which means your logic is completely fucked. Like, oh, there's a bunch of batches come from it, but he enjoys doing it. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, like... You can say the same thing about masturbating in public. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That this is in any way good. I think we can all agree on one thing. If we all care about Josh's well-being, then he should not be on YouTube at all, or even the internet.
He's been seriously funny.
And welcome,
He's just always been funny. There's like jokes. There's jokes, and there's dad jokes, and then there's Josh jokes. and he's always had Josh jokes his whole life. Even when he was a little kid, he'd have Josh jokes all the time. He used to come to work with me all day because I was coaching, so he'd come hang out in the gym all day. I was a single parent of Josh for several years, and we just hang out all the time. We'd get up every morning, have breakfast, and watch Disney cartoons. And then this is why, by the way, his obsession with pipes, smoking pipes, that comes from 101 Dalmatians.
From Roger, yeah.
The shotgun, where's that obsession come from? Tombstone, and also Fox and the Hound.
Yeah.
A lot of his Big Ben, that fascination started with 101 Dalmatians as well. So a lot of his obsessions today literally came from Disney movies that we used to watch when he was little. And then we'd hang out all day together, and we'd go to work, and he'd hang out in the gym with all the kids. And everybody loved Josh, and Josh would entertain him and tell jokes. Even at the age of 3, he was telling silly jokes. He used to get the bubblegum paper, and the people would buy him joke books for Christmas, because they know he loved to tell jokes. And then his concoctions, his food and drink concoctions, good Lord, the stuff that I've seen that kid put in his mouth. And the thing is, and he always loves it. And everybody else is like, oh, don't. And he's like, he's having food gasms all over the place. And everybody else is like, oh my God, he's digesting that,
Food gasms.
I got a Josh joke. It's really bad. What do a funeral director and a mortician use to keep the fire warm during the holidays? A eulogy log.
Oh my God. Josh jokes. So anyways, but this is what he gives him joy. And that's another one that the people accuse him of constantly e-begging.
How is it e-begging when I just sit there and people give me money? I don't even ask for it.
And they're always like, you must be proud of yourself. You're e-begging all the time. And I'm like, well, he entertains you 24 hours a day. He should be paid for it. Yeah, how much money do you guys make on merch off of him?
Stealing my ideas.
How much money does he?
Fun of my business.
How much money does he get from those merch sales that go on constantly?
With the troll t-shirts, the trolls make fun of me and steal my likeness.
No,
what merch sales? He acts like there's like a fucking like multi-million-dollar business of people making fucking troll stuff. Which also, by the way, most people frown upon anyways, because I think, isn't it like? I mean, I at least know for the DSP thing that if, in the gout first that's frowned upon. I think in most Lolcow universes, it's frowned upon just making money directly off of someone's likeness. Am I wrong?
I don't get jacked.
I mean, I know some people do it, but like, give me a fucking break here.
Sales.
The guy that made his logo for his one business, he used to always, I don't know if he still does, but he would send like gift cards to like Home Depot and stuff like that to help Josh out with proceeds that he made from selling merch. And I thought that was really cool. He'd send him materials or gift cards and things like that and not that, but he was so kind, to make that logo for Josh, and it's such a kick-ass logo.
I love my logo.
I'm looking at his sticker. I've got his stickers all over done. So it's and so that he was a really cool guy. And there's a lot of those guys out there.
So I think that leads into the next question that I had naturally, which is, do you think collectively that YouTube has been a bad or a good influence on Josh?
It should be good.
Do those goods in your mind outweigh the bads?
They used to, because there's a lot more of it. But the really nasty trolls have been getting stronger and bigger. And they get their, I don't know what it is. They get their 5 minutes of fame out of it or what. They get their dopamine rush every day from going to the subreddit, I guess, and posting something totally vile and getting a lot of likes on it. That's a good question. That's hard. It used to. I don't think it does anymore.
What do you mean this is a hard question? Well, at what point in Josh's, okay, admittedly, I don't know, I haven't seen a bunch of the old videos, maybe when he was just earlier on posting shit. I saw some of the older stuff, and Josh's just seemed more I wouldn't say normal, but just maybe not quite as out there and weird, more of just oh, here's just this random, goofball on the internet. Those were the vibes I got from his earlier videos, a few that I've seen. But the idea that now it took time for him to think about, oh, at one point it was good and now it's bad. Roy, I don't know. I would argue that the first time that the first time he lost a job or got kicked out of an establishment because of his internet presence would have proven that being on the internet was a bad fucking idea.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I mean, seriously, if you're being on the internet interfere with any major part of your life and you weren't making real money or anything doing it, because I can't imagine he was making anything except maybe shit ad revenue back before the apocalypse. But what was he really building off of that?
The substance abuse, and of course they'll blame me for it. Yeah. Don't know how we worked that one out either.
Well, you're not helping. That's perfectly evident.
If I had to live a day in his shoes, I'd be drinking all day too. I really would. I could not be him. I get trolled a tenth as much as he does, and I don't even read them. That's the other thing. So I'm not even taking the mental abuse. I'm just annoyed as fuck. He's got that mental abuse to go with the annoyance nonstop all day long. How do you come out of that okay in any shape? And so for that, no. I wish those people would go away.
But again, also, here's everything too. And people, someone put this out in the comments. I think they might put it out on here. Yeah, get a new fucking phone number. Trolls are sending you messages. I'm sorry, but if I got one troll message or someone had found out my phone number, someone who I didn't want to know it, and they were just harassing me, the first thing I'm doing is going to T-Mobile or whatever and being hey, I need a new fucking phone number. I don't care how much it costs, but I done fucked up, and now I'm going to go and fix it by making it so that no one knows what the fuck my phone number is. After you fix it, at that point, unless people are doing crazy hacking shit or whatever to go and get it out, it's what the really?
And they won't. They thrive off of this. That's where the word trolls come from. They're slimy, stinky, small-brained little people who live under a bridge and torment good people.
They're in their mama's basement.
That's what a troll is, And so, no, I don't. The good that's come out of it, when we were on over Thanksgiving, we went and visited my family.
Yeah, sorry, if Phil had just done that, Phil still has the same fucking phone number that he had in Connecticut, the 203 area code, and that got leaked, years ago. Or whatever, he put it out there, whatever the fuck. And he never bothered to change it. How hard would it have been to get a new number? At least get a fucking Washington number. Do you realize how weird it must be, the looks he gets when he gives a phone number for whatever thing, and then says number, what the fuck are you talking about? How can you have a number like that? It's bro, just change the number, because if he had changed the number, guess what? The fucking bank leaks wouldn't have happened. Because that's how they did it, because they had all the digits of it and were able to use it to bypass security. Literally, if you had taken the half hour and $20 it takes to get a new number from AT&T, none of the info would have been out there.
Always do for Thanksgiving. Go visit
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Everywhere we went, people would see him and go, "Hey, can I get a selfie? Can I get a selfie with you?"
What is that? I'm sorry, I don't know why the notification noise is going
and
out.
made him feel really good. And he's a rock star. We're in the Denver airport and people are taking selfies with Josh.
And I haven't gone on tour yet, so I can call myself a rock star.
So when I see that stuff, I'm always like, "Oh, man, that's awesome." And I appreciate those people. When I see people like the guy that made his logo, reaching out, and when I see people sending him little gift packages of his favorite jerkies and stuff like that, that's just very thoughtful. The people will go, "Oh, Josh loves his jerky, so I'm going to send him some." That's just really cool. The people are thoughtful like that. And so when I see those things, yeah, and I just know how much he loves it. It's just. He always tells me when he's doing a new food hack, I always get a text message or a phone call to tell me about it. And so it's always, it gives him great joy to do the stuff he's doing. But I also see the hurt, and I see the nonstop hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Trunks.
I see the nonstop alcohol abuse because of the hurt. And And I get, yeah, and then I don't.
It's not abuse if it's in your stomach.
Talking about a lot of this.
And he probably could have found some, like, even if like we're gonna say like, oh well, it's spent, which it isn't, it's like $20. Let's just say it was like $100. I'm pretty sure that, like, if you just went to like a phone place or to AT&T and you showed a bunch of the shit you were getting and you said, I need to get my number changed, don't want to be dicks, I'm gonna be like, bro, look at this, and then just Karen on them, be a Karen. I'm pretty sure most people would sympathize and be like, okay, fine, we'll do the first one free. Because that's really all it took, was you just need to change it once. Or if it's not going to do it, then just say, fuck you, and just sign up for a new fucking phone company plan. Like, okay, well, if AT&T is going to be dicks, I might as well just go over to Verizon. Well, never go to Verizon. They fucking blow donkeys in front of the children. But, do T-Mobile or any other carrier. They're not there's not exactly a monopoly. There's like 10 different providers you could jump to at any given time.
What do you think is one thing that people that watch him don't know about him?
That's what, man.
I think the one thing they don't know, I think the one thing none of them realize, the good people in or the trolls, is
how bad he smells.
Close his family is to him.
What?
I think when they see his lifestyle, they assume that his family's abandoned him and that he's on his own. But like I said, we're in contact sometimes every day, a minimum of 3 times a week. And whenever we have any type of family things, he's always involved. His
You're not helping your cause.
Helps him out when she can. Everybody loves him, and everybody's there for him always. His family's very, very supportive of him, and they're very involved. Okay,
I'm sorry. If this is the best if this is the best his quote unquote family can do, I am not fucking impressed. You're not turning me here, Clint. You're just making me angrier at you.
His life, even though none of us, we all choose not to be in his online life, because again, that's his thing. We don't want to invade on that. That's his thing, and we don't want to take away from that. We want him to be able to have that on his own, without interference. And the only reason I'm finally doing this interview is just because it's just gotten so out of hand. Some of the theories and some of the behaviors, in my opinion, are getting dangerous.
That's why trolls don't have a family like us.
Because I've had death threats on my kids, on my daughters. I've had people threaten to kill my daughters because I'm such a piece of shit parent and nobody gives a shit about Josh. So they're going to kill our entire family to teach us a lesson. What the fuck? We are a very loving family and we're very close. So to hear talk like that, and one of these days, the shit that they keep making up and spewing all over the subreddit, there's going to be some crazy person that decides they need to take action. That's my fear. Eventually, some crazy ass person is going to think that the shit that they're hearing is real and decide they need to take action. And we're going to end up on some late night drama television show, where they're going to be watching this to find out how Clint died. It's surreal, man. Because when does it end? And where does this go? There's nowhere good for it to go in terms of the really intense trolling and the crazy stories that keep coming out. There's nowhere good for those to go. And after this, you're not going to see me in Josh's YouTube channels. Okay, that's Josh's thing, and it needs to be his thing, and I will stay out of it. But I just, like I said, in my opinion, it's getting dangerous. And so I felt it was finally time to say something. And like I said, those guys are going to twist it all anyway.
They don't seem to be very positive towards Clint.
Josh especially could win the lottery and literally cure cancer with it, and the trolls would attack him for it and everybody who took the cancer treatment.
Oh, shut up.
People think that you are
welcome, Demeter.
Have, like, some sort of legal control over him or something. That's not the case.
When it's common, and this came up to us, this is, in my opinion, a mistake.
Clint requested this for some reason.
I made with Josh. When they're minors and they're about to become adults, typically, if you've got a minor with disabilities of any kind, you go through a paperwork process where you become their guardian and have custody of them even as an adult. And so that is a common thing. And we sat down with Josh and the whole family when that time kind of came up when he was 17, and decided he already had such issues of control, and especially with the idea that we control him and constantly tell him how to live his life, brush your teeth, things like that. So we decided collectively that I was really, really hoping that if we didn't do that to him, it would be a sign to him that we respect him and trust him.
Boy, that fucking failed.
And I was hoping that he would then rise up to that. If that makes sense.
This is what happened to that plan.
Detrimental to him, especially if I then produce paperwork that say, guess what? I'm your legal guardian for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? And like I said, there are times when I wish I would have done that because that would have given me legal recourse to help him more, or to, if I wanted to put him in a home, And like I said, I don't want to put him in a home. He would die in a home. It would be terrible for him.
How do you know that?
At the same time,
it's like, oh, it'd be awful. As opposed to what? This now? Is he just slowly and now, well, over recently killing himself? Like, I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that what you currently have set up for your son is the better option than committing him.
I think it would be very beneficial to him, some of the services that he would get from that. Especially something like detox and some daily counseling. When there are certain meds that do help him quite a bit. And I would love to see him go back on those. So there are some things, definitely some areas I think he would function better and could have a more productive, what we call a normal life, if I would have retained his guardianship and forced him to do that stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing, exiled. Like, you know, there's the thing, you should never be burying your own, a parent should never bury their own child.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Clint is going to be burying Josh.
I think that's good to get that cleared up, because I think that's a big misconception.
No, I don't. And like I said, and part of me thinks it was a mistake. And the other part of me is like, I'm glad I didn't, because his personality type, the defiance disorder.
No, I'm glad that I didn't want to have to deal with that shit. That's literally what he just said. That's totally selfish.
I really do, in terms of anger and hostility and just his general behavior.
What are your hopes for Josh's future? What do you envision?
Well, what I would love to see Josh do is, I'd love to see him start a YouTube channel that could be monetized, where there's no drugs, alcohol, and swearing on it, and just food hacks.
I got my monetization back.
Oh, good. I've even volunteered to buy his food for it. If you just make one meal a day and call it cooking with the Cobes, and it's one meal a day where you do some crazy food hack and have foodgasms while you eat it on camera.
Cooking with the King versus cooking with the Cobes.
I think a lot of people would watch that. I really do. And I think it could be a very successful venture for him in the YouTube world, both financially and mentally. For him, I think that would be great. I really want to see him continue with the counseling. I
don't know who the fuck would insure him though, Exile, unless he got like those, you know, no questions asked, just give us money, we'll give you insurance plans.
I think is where some of the self-loathing comes from, and not
where you
feeling
can't get more than like
anything good to happen.
You know, 50K of guaranteed coverage
from his biological mom.
Fuck her.
And
whoa,
in her defense, she wasn't mentally okay. I don't think, you know.
Wait, go back.
Some of these issues come from abandonment issues. I think is where some of the self-loathing comes from, and not feeling worthy or deserving of anything good to happen. I think some of that comes from that, from his biological mom.
Fuck her.
And in her defense, she wasn't mentally okay. I don't think, you know.
Gee, I wonder where I get it from.
She wasn't.
Then why'd you stick your dick in her, you idiot?
What? Person. But after we divorced, she just kind of disappeared one day, and that had a serious effect on him.
Literally keep trying to find her, and it's just like, dude, I didn't ask for that.
They won't. And not only that, but she doesn't deserve hate. I understand where he feels that, but she certainly doesn't deserve hate from the online world. You know what I mean? She was in a rough place in her own life, and she dealt with it the way that she knew how, and it's very sad and unfortunate, but it is what it is. But anyways, I'd love to see him get help with that. I'd definitely love to see him get help with the substance abuse. I think the more he could get that under control, I think he'd be happier in general. And definitely he's slowly killing himself. And
I think it's just a slow way to kill yourself.
And when I bring that stuff up, I get reminded that
what a positive attitude to have there.
I want to die anyway.
Well, I don't want to die, but we're all going to die, so you might as well enjoy it.
And then I would love to, and he needs to get his teeth taken care of. And he finally did set a dentist appointment. Thank you.
No, I did, but then I didn't go to it because I lost Puff.
I know, but he's at least.
Oh, you motherfucker! Okay, I need to step away after that. I didn't go to the dentist because I lost Puff. Fuck you, buddy. Sorry, I'll be right back. This should be the last break, and then after this, we have to watch his yet another Christmas disaster. But we'll see that after this. We got about less than 10 minutes left in this. Sorry about that. I misjudged my time there.
Move in that direction. I don't know what can be done, to be honest with you.
Well, I can give a few things, buddy. I can give you a few suggestions if you're willing to listen.
Help. But he's finally at least open to going to the dentist and getting it worked on or looked at. So hopefully that'll get fixed. His wand business, as you mentioned in your video too, he's sitting on a gold mine. I would sit home all day and crank out 4 of those things, and he'd make a full-time income. If he cranked out 4 wands a day for what he sells them for, he'd make a very good income. And I keep trying to tell him, you want to win the lottery to build that dream house, make 4 or 5 wands a day and save the money, and you'll build your dream house.
For the money I need, we got to include like landscaping and like how many acres I want.
How many followers you got?
80,000.
80,000.
What the fuck? It's amazing for him claiming that he's done like all this stuff and became like a psychology major or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know. Did you go from like University of Phoenix in like mid 2000s? Like, what kind of level of education did you fucking get here, pal?
81,000
times. So that is, oh wait, let me count the zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, $4 million. If every one of your fans bought A1, that's $4 million. I think he does need counseling. I think he needs counseling to learn how to overcome a lot of the self-abuse and definitely the alcohol abuse and substance abuse. Yeah, he needs help. But as I mentioned very much earlier in this interview, it's got to be self-help. You can't force help on people. In terms of, does he need help in terms of how he lives other than the substance abuse and the teeth? No. It's him. And I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, Trunks, just because I think A, other people could do it better, and B, if he got really big, then he'd get a DMCA or some sort of C&D from it.
Ventriloquism.
And be the Gothic King Cobra. That's just,
I mean, does anyone?
And I'm totally okay with those aspects. Like I said,
I mean, do you think anyone like affiliated with the Harry Potter franchise wants to have any sort of relationship or affiliation with this man right here?
I love Josh. And I'm actually very, very proud of who Josh is. There are some of his choices I'm definitely not okay with, and definitely he knows that, and I'm on it all the time. But I can't change him. Those are, like I said, self-help comes from self-help. It's called self-help for a reason, and change isn't easy. And that's the other thing. I think we all know somebody in our lives who struggled with substance abuse, and it's a very sad thing to watch them slowly demise into this canyon, and they don't see it, and they don't acknowledge it, and they don't want to see it or acknowledge it. And it's very hard as someone who loves a person in a position to watch it happen and feel so hopeless. And you do what you can, and you love them, and that's it.
You've talked about this a little bit, but I think what do you think is the best thing?
What the fuck's up with his camera? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm being a pedantic prick here. I'm talking about the other guy. So like now it's red.
We talked about this a little bit, but I think what do you think is
and then it like color corrects to like a more blue. Like what the fuck?
Thing about Josh. What is his greatest quality?
Well, 2. 1 is kindness. He is seriously just an incredibly compassionate person, especially with animals and older people. He's just so genuine person, especially with animals and.
Come on, Clint. You know that like Puff's quote unquote disappearance is 100% because of Josh. There's no, like, that's just facts.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
But you can't tell me that he's great with pets.
And older people. He's just so genuine with them, and he's so caring about them, and he's just so good with them.
Oh yeah, I love my senior citizens.
And he always has.
I get along better with senior citizens than I do with most people my own age.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I'm sure the fucked up ones in the head you do.
Shit that he goes through on a daily basis, and he just is unapologetically himself all the time. That takes balls. that is serious respect, because I can't do it. I couldn't be 100% myself all the time. I'd be too terrified of the judgment I would receive.
Okay, like you wouldn't say, like, could you imagine any lolcow and their parent being like, well, I'm glad they're being themselves. Like, fucking really? Them being themselves is what made them a lolcow in the first fucking place. Like, how is that a positive? I'm sorry, but there's not everyone is meant to be an online personality, present company included. Point being is that just because they're honest or like whatever, like that doesn't mean it's a good thing. I think his dad's losing how much they can monetize. Well, I mean, I get what he's saying though. Like, I mean, look, how many people have made content off of, again, Present Company included, off of Cobra's cooking videos? You know, me and Ludwig, August the Duck, I think Chill Murray's. Just there's numerous people who have been able to monetize his stuff, and the fact that he is not monetizing it like enough because of the other shit involved with him is a thing. Like, I don't think it's life-changing money, but it's money nonetheless, and it's something, you know, that, again, buried in e-begging. Like, if you just go and keep your mouth shut, or can at least, I mean, if you're just making crazy food hacks, that's pretty easy to monetize, I have to imagine, unless he gets reported for, like, you're making poison or some shit like that, and then YouTube's crazy automated system goes and demonetizes. But like, there's too much other shit. Like, you can't be throwing out, you know, like the maggot word, but not maggot. Replace that first word. You can't throw that out there numerous times when you're drunk on the stream and expect it. I still say he has been remonetized and he's gotten super chats and shit like that. I bet he's not going to see a dime of that. He's going to lose monetization before the 30 days passes.
It's the Aries in me. We Aries don't give a shit.
And I think most people can relate to me a lot more than him. You know, I'm not going to let the whole world see my vulnerable little underbelly, you know, and
or
I
your
don't
tits.
You know, I'm afraid of being teased or harassed. Not Josh, man. He just puts it all out there. This is me. Take it or leave it.
I could kiss my Asperger's.
I'm not going to change for you. I'm not going to change for them. This is
whatever. I do what I want.
I'm going to stay that way. And, you know, when people in town sometimes approach me and ask, "Are you Josh's dad?" I'm instantly on the defensive because I want to know if I want to kill him or not. And then I'm like,
that's nice.
And I'm like, "Do you know Josh, or do you just watch his YouTube channel?" And that's a little bit contradictory because, like I said, what you see on his YouTube channel is pretty much what you get because he's unapologetically him. But he also does have that persona. You know, the way he is on his channel, he isn't that way 24 hours a day. There are times when he's, you know, much more chill. You know, like when we play games and stuff like that. He's, you know, you're not seeing that persona.
What
games?
Visiting
the family.
Please tell me he follows up and says what games.
So when we're making wands, but
I think for my last thing, you know, is there anything that you want to say, that you want to get out there?
Why would you not follow up on that? I'm sorry. Like, why would you not be like, you know, what do you mean games? What games do you play? I would love to know what games he plays with his severely autistic son. Like, okay, how does your son tick? What is something that you can do? Because I feel like with a situation like this, what you should be focusing on is knowing that he's so self-destructive. You would try to direct his attention to anything that is not that, like something that just keeps him busy. So every day he wakes up and he has like a task or some sort of fulfillment. Because that's part of the thing too, is that Josh has no, I mean, look, I got ADHD and there's a little bit of, like, I'm not saying that it means I'm autistic, but I'm saying that they share a couple of traits. That's why there's been a lot of misdiagnosis on both sides. But one of the main things is that you need to have a feeling of pride and accomplishment. I know that's a meme, but it's true though. You know what I mean? And like, that's what you need to give. You need to give someone a reason to wake up every day. Because if they don't have that, then yeah, why wouldn't they go and just drink or get high or do whatever? Because it's, you know, it's just like with rich people or like, you know, spoiled brats, like fucking Paris Hilton's brother, the one, I don't know if he ever got on the straight and narrow, but he was getting arrested constantly because he was a fucking prick because he had no reason to live because everything was taken care of and there was no goal in his life. You know, at least Paris, you know, became a DJ, had businesses, this, that, and everything. She actually did shit with her life. You know, and she fucking gave birth to Megamind, so I guess she's got that going for her as well.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Set the record clear, or
yes, please. Let's go out on the bang here, Clint.
Well, you know, I've already said it all, but you know, if you wanted a summary, you know, the people that are good to Josh, thank you. I seriously appreciate that you care about him. I seriously appreciate that you, in what level you can, try to help them and take care of them and support them. To your severe trolls, I seriously feel bad for you. I wish you could get some help. Because
Yeah, my trolls need help more than I do, to be honest.
they do. Because they have got to be some seriously miserable people to get joy out of harassing and trying to ruin another person's life, especially an autistic person's life. That's a special kind of weird. Oh, and yeah, and in terms of you know, you guys that feel the need to call me and text me all the time, you if you need to keep doing it for whatever reason, fine. But I don't read them.
Change your
I don't read your
number.
emails, I don't read your Facebook
Same here. I'll
messages.
get a text message saying you're trolls on the subreddit doing this, and I'm like, I don't care unless they're threatening my life or someone I care about.
What the fuck is this?
There's some interesting Zoom effects going on here. But I don't, I mean, like I said, if
What
they
happened
think they
there?
need to keep doing it to feel better about themselves, I guess okay, but I don't read them.
Because they think you're gonna ground me and put me in a goddamn group home.
I don't listen.
Or a fucking mental
I
institution.
don't listen to. I used to. Obviously,
Change
I'm
your
doing it. I used to
number.
listen
How is
to
this a
all the
big
messages and
fucking
read all
deal?
that.
Am I missing
I quit doing
something
it a
here?
couple
I
years
feel
ago
like
because it's just too much. And I don't have time, and B, it's just the same rhetoric over and over and over again, and they don't know what they're talking about. And it's vile. So if, like I said, for their information, I don't look at it or read it or listen to it. So if you think you're making a difference on me, you're not, because I don't listen to your shit. He tells me shit all the time, but other people will tell me
Well,
shit.
I do that so you can have a laugh with me on how stupid they are. I'm not doing it to make you feel bad.
I know. Oh, I know. It's all good.
I did want to include a short addendum here. Clint emailed me
please
after
do.
the interview to clarify some things that he didn't get out. So this is directly from those emails.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, this didn't come up in the interview, but I know it's something people love to attack him about. Josh isn't on SSI. He hasn't been for many years. When he was on SSI, they did a full psych eval and deemed that he was permanently mentally disabled. He receives a small disability check from the government each month, and it varies with his income. I do his taxes, and all of his income is reported. One of my goals is to get him making enough money with his wands and YouTube so that the check gets smaller and smaller until it goes away. And another interesting fact that people don't get is his income. One of the reasons many people hate on him is because they think he makes a lot of money because he has a lot of followers. That's just not the case. With all of his ventures and the small disability checks, he makes less money a year than he did when working for Wendy's full time. And because his income is all from self-employment, he has to pay into taxes at the end of every year too, instead of getting a refund. You guys stay good, and
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Thanks.
Happy holidays, man.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Oh. Wow. He's literally filing as a self corporation. Like he's not even doing it. Like you're not even taking advantage of the tax breaks you can get when you're self-employed. Like if you're just doing it as a self-proprietor, then you're doing it all wrong. Well, I mean, I guess for the money. Oh God. Wow, that's just a fucking trip. Okay, so the V2 thing isn't like showing me properly. I have my hand. My head is in my hands right now, or my hand. Like, I mean, look, I'm a dad, right? I got 3 kids, and I can't even begin to imagine the pain that I would be going through if my kids ended up like Cobra, to where they're so fucked up and you're trying to go and help them and it just isn't working because of mental defects that you have no control over. I know they cut your SSI money. Yeah, because that was a thing too. I remember on the Stern show, that was an issue because people on the show would like become famous or making money. And then their SSI would get fucked up, and then they would have to weigh the thing of, do I keep working or do the SSI shit? Oh, God, this is crazy, though. Okay, so so this one's pretty short. So, let's just play this through. So, there's another Christmas vacation disaster. Just give me like one quick minute here. Yeah, there's definitely some rules with the SSI stuff. Let me just step away for like a quick second, but I'll be right back though. You get to listen to this again. Or, any of these probably won't get claimed. I'll be right back. I'll be quick. Okay, we're back. This will be it, and then I'm gonna call it a night.
It's your boy Cobra back at it with another video. If you're trying to get a hold of me via my cell phone, it's not going to happen. My cell phone is currently kaput. I'm in the process of replacing it. I'll let you know as soon as I get it back. It's going to cost me like $168 to replace it. But I digress. I'm in the process of working on it. I want to go to bed here in a second because I was sleeping and I woke up and then, yeah. All right, now I'm drinking on my homemade wine. I got this cherry wine that I made with the peppermint candy canes and the...
Hold on.
All right, now I'm...
What happened to his phone? He goes... Yeah, apparently... The rumor going around is that he had a really bad fight with his family on Christmas. And he threw his phone in anger because, of course, that makes sense.
I'm drinking on my homemade wine. I got this cherry wine that I made with the peppermint candy canes and the chocolate candy, and it is delicious.
You lying sack of shit!
I love how I make an effort not to drink or be drunk around my family this Christmas, and I still get shit for it. I digress. I don't want to get into it. I'm just going to let it go because the whole fight was fucking stupid.
What?
And I don't want any drama in my life. All I wanted for Christmas was to be able to spend time with my family without any fighting or any drama, and I can't even have that.
And whose fault is that?
What?
It is what it is. But we're going to let it go and let bygones be bygones. So I won't be able to do any cooking videos or go live until I fix my cell phone. It is what it is. But you know what? I love my family and I love my fans and my friends. And I hope everyone had an awesome Christmas and a happy New Year. I had an awesome Christmas despite everything.
You lying sack of shit! You lying sack of shit!
My dad made his delicious prime rib, and we watched Christmas with the Cranks. That's a pretty funny holiday movie. But I need a break from people, dude. I do. So if you don't see me on YouTube for the next couple of days, because I'm working on getting my cell phone replaced and trying to keep my head above the surface.
Sorry, so after this, there's going to be no raid on YouTube. There will be one on Twitch.
The whole fight started because I went outside to have a cigarette, and my mom and dad are like, could you not drink any more of that homemade wine while you're here? Thanks. And I wasn't planning on it because I already had enough.
Uh-huh.
So, like, it felt like they were giving me shit just because they could. And when you're the oldest child out of all three siblings, that's to be expected.
What?
People want to accuse me of being an asshole when I drink, and I'm like...
By the way, this isn't from a live stream, ladies and gentlemen. This was a video he uploaded.
I'm only an asshole when you fuck with me, dude. And that's fair. I wasn't planning on getting drunk around my family for the holidays. You know, I have a social drinking limit, and that's 3 to 4 cocktails, drinks, whatever. And that's just general. Like, if I don't feel like getting drunk and I'm drinking to be social, I only have, like, 4 maximum.
You
because
lying
I didn't
sack
want
of
to
shit!
repeat it last year, dude. You think, you know, and to be called a selfish piece of shit and an asshole when I drank, and I'm like, really? If I was so selfish, dude, I would have fucking chugged the entire bottle of homemade wine and showed up to my family's house blackout, but I didn't. I made an effort to be sober and only limit my drinks to 4.
You brought your own alcohol, your own homemade alcohol.
I'm just gonna fuck up, and they didn't even give me the chance to succeed. The whole fucking
sorry,
fight
I have
was
things
stupid.
to do.
It was so stupid. I don't even want to talk about it on YouTube. I need a break from people, dude. It's nothing against my family. or my friends or my fans or anybody. It's just me personally. One of my neighbors came in and checked on me last night, or, you know what I'm saying, when I got home from my family's. And
is that the guy who fucking posted that thing on Reddit?
Check out this typewriter I got. I'm like, old school, ching, when it hits the end of the paper. Fucking yeah. So you know what I did? To blow off steam, I typed a bunch of swear words on the typewriter because I wanted to be silly. And that's exactly what I did. And my family says they put up with a lot. They put up with a lot because of me. And I'm like, the feeling is mutual. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to fucking blame my family for anything. I acknowledge that I got problems. And I need to work on my shit. I'll flat out acknowledge that. But when you don't even give me a chance to succeed, you just assume I'm going to fail. And then immediately you have to insert your 2 cents. While telling me nobody wants to hear your 2 cents, I'm going to get a little pissed about it, dude. And then on top of that, it's like, oh great, my idol Ozzy Osbourne has a fucking spinal tumor. And all I wanted for Christmas was to be able to spend time with my family without any fighting or any drama, and I don't even get to have that. And even my family,
but you're the cause of it, pal.
Or work on themselves. I don't care. Do not care. Nothing like being screamed at by your father as he's driving you home, calling me a piece of shit and yelling "fuck you" at me as loud as he can. I'm like, instead of having a conversation about this like mature adults, we're just going to yell at each other. Okay, I can do that too. Nah. It is what it is. People are going to be like, Cobra, what happened? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I'm not going to discuss what happened on my channel. The fight's over with. It's done with. The whole fight was stupid to begin with. But it's like, how much...
Yeah, exactly. Just keep talking, Cobes. Like, no one's bringing this out of him. This is a video he uploaded. Like, if I had this bad of an experience with my family, nowhere the last place you're going to hear me talk about it is on a fucking stream. Like, it would probably just be like, yeah, I didn't have a great holiday, but whatever, it is what it is. I wouldn't go into this granular of detail.
I'm supposed to feel, dude, when I feel like my family fucking secretly hates my guts. Would it have killed my family to be like, hey, Josh, appreciate you not getting blackout drunk around Christmas like you did last year. What you got there? Some homemade wine? But when my family called me a selfish piece of shit and called me an asshole when I drink, I'm like, I'm only an asshole when you fuck with me. And to be fair, I made a solid effort this year to not get blackout drunk around my family, to only have 3 to 4 drinks, and not count anyone else's drinks like I usually do when I'm around my family, and I still got crap for it, dude.
Yeah. Another great thing by Bogdan Chronicles, obviously. Follow that man. Support them. Ugh. What a fucking stream. I fucking loved that. That was crazy. That interview. I mean, I don't know if I really feel much better, or like, I don't think Clint did a lot to make his case better. But I feel a bit more sympathy, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, but I'm also more angry towards how you are handling things. But anyways, that was fun. That might be one of the best videos out there. I still think he shouldn't have done that. Or if you're gonna do that, do it better than the way he did. But anyways, I guess I hope you all had a good Christmas. There is no LWA stream, but we are doing premieres every day, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. New match is premiering on YouTube. So that's something to look forward to. Keep forgetting on the soundboard here. Anyways, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Mud huts.